Welcome to another class, and in this we are continuing on with basic concepts in national income accounts. And in this, today we are going to talk about factor incomes and transfer incomes. So what are factor incomes? Factor incomes have a quid pro quo. That means whatever you render a service, you get some reward in return. So factors of production, when they get a remuneration, that is known as factor incomes. So incomes would be rent, interest, wages and profit. And talking about transfer incomes, they have no quid pro quo, which means they just transferred from one to another. So we can call them one-sided incomes. So for example, if you talk about old age pensions from the state or the government, that could be one. And if you're taking day-to-day simple example, it can be a pocket money that you receive from your parents. So here we go, hurry up and we just hurry through it. It's very simple and quick. Just quickly go through this. So income is broadly categorized into factor incomes and transfer incomes, and why it is important is that we do not add transfer incomes in national income accounting. So they are not considered. Whereas when we are doing factor incomes, only these are included in national income accounting. So what are factor incomes? They refer to income received by factors of production for rendering factor services in the process of production. This is a reward of factors of production for the services that are given by them in the production process. So we see what are the factors of production? Land, labor, capital, enterprise. So what is that? What are the rewards for them? Rent, wages, interest and profit are factor incomes in that order. For example, income of land is rent, of labor is wage, capital is interest, and for enterprise it is profit. So if one has to earn an income, one has to contribute in the production process. That means we cannot receive an income without contributing to production. So in that way, we can say that factor income is a bilateral income. Hence, it is an earned income. So it should be clearly understood here that factor incomes and factor payments are the two sides of the same coin. Factor incomes are viewed from the side of the owners of factors of production who receive remuneration in lieu of their services. That becomes factor incomes. When you see or when you view factor payments, when we look at transfer incomes from when you see factor payments being made, they are viewed from the side of firms, that is producers of goods and services, who make payments to the owners of factors of production. So these are factor payments. So while calculating factor incomes or payments, they are one and the same thing. Because these are costs to the firm, both are included, that is. So factor payments are costs to the firms and become incomes in the hands of factors of production. So thus factor incomes are included in national income. Let's take transfer income now. What are these? So these are certain types of incomes which are received without making any corresponding contribution to the production of goods and services. That means incomes which are received without rendering any productive service are called transfer incomes. So in a way, it is only a receipt concept. It is one-sided income. That is, it is a unilateral income. So when we were talking about factor income, they are bilateral incomes, and this is a unilateral income. For example, if you take old age pension, if you take scholarship of students, unemployment allowance to unemployed people, or flood relief or pocket money, they are all examples of transfer income. Why are they called so? Why? Because they are actually just being transferred without giving in return any productive service from their recipients. And that is why they are not included in national income. So just to wrap it up, we may sum up the differences between the two as factor incomes refers to the income which accrues to the owners of factors of production, and transfer incomes refers to income received without any good and service. We're talking about the nature of factor income. It is an earned income as it is received in lieu of factor services. And it is, if you're talking about transfer income, it's an unearned income and it is received without rendering any productive service. So talking about factor income, it is included in national income, and when you talk about transfer income, it is not included. And if you're talking about what type of income it is a bilateral income, and you're talking about transfer income, it is a unilateral income. Examples of factor incomes could be rent, wages, interest and profits. And if you're talking about transfer incomes, they are scholarships to students, unemployment allowance, old age pension, etc., say pocket money. So one question could be, what is the difference between factor income and transfer incomes?